Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Thomax. You know, after more than 30 years working with people over 50, I've come to realize something that most of us never really think about until it's too late. It's not a sudden heart attack. It's not cancer. It's something quieter. Something that sneaks up on us slowly, day after day, until one morning, we wake up and realize our body doesn't feel like it used to. I'm talking about muscle loss. Or, as doctors call it, sarcopenia. This isn't just about feeling a bit weaker, it's about preserving your independence, your energy, and your ability to truly live life on your own terms. When you're young, you don't even notice your muscles. You climb stairs, lift groceries, play with your kids, it all feels natural, an effortless part of daily life. But as we grow older, something fundamental changes within our bodies, often without us even realizing it. This change is called sarcopenia, a progressive and generalized skeletal muscle disorder involving the accelerated loss of muscle mass and function. Maybe you've noticed it too. You bend down to pick something up, and suddenly it feels heavier than before. You get up from a chair, and your legs take an extra second to respond, perhaps with a slight wobble. Or maybe you stopped walking as far as you used to, not because you don't want to, but because your body quietly whispers, "I'm tired." These aren't just minor inconveniences, they are often early warning signs of a deeper issue. A patient of mine, Mrs. Reynolds, once told me, "Doctor, I don't understand. I eat well, I still do my gardening, but lately I just feel weaker." When I tested her muscle mass, she had lost nearly 15% of her strength in just 5 years. And she didn't even realize it was happening, attributing her fatigue to just getting older. This common misconception is precisely why sarcopenia is such a dangerous, silent threat to our well-being. That's the thing about muscle loss, it's silent. It doesn't knock on your door like a fever or chest pain, demanding immediate attention. Instead, it slowly steals your independence, 1 pound of muscle at a time, gradually eroding your physical capabilities and confidence. This insidious process often begins much earlier than most people imagine, making early awareness and intervention critical. Science shows that after age 50, the average person loses 1% of muscle mass every year. This might sound like a small number, but it accumulates rapidly. By the time we reach 70 or 80, that adds up to nearly a third of our total muscle mass, sometimes even more. Think about that for a moment. A third of the strength that once carried you through life, gone, quietly, without warning, impacting every aspect of your daily existence. And yet, here's the part that breaks my heart the most. Most people don't even know it's happening. They just think, well, that's aging. That's how life goes. They accept a diminished quality of life as an inevitable consequence of growing older. But it doesn't have to be that way. Understanding the mechanisms behind sarcopenia is the first step toward reclaiming control and maintaining your vitality. Because losing muscle isn't just about getting weaker, it's about losing the freedom to live life fully, to engage with the world around you without limitations. It's the difference between walking in the park with your grandkids, or watching them from a bench, feeling too tired or unstable to join in. It's the difference between standing up with confidence, or holding onto a chair for balance, constantly fearing a fall. It's the critical distinction between recovery and decline after an illness or injury. I remember another patient, Mr. Lawson, a 72-year-old retired teacher. He came to me after a small fall in his kitchen. Nothing serious, just a slip. But that little fall broke his hip, leading to a long and difficult recovery. When I asked what happened, he said, "I don't know, doc. My legs just gave out." That's what sarcopenia does, it weakens you from the inside out, until the smallest challenge becomes a mountain, and a simple misstep can have devastating consequences. And it's not just about falling. When your muscles weaken, your metabolism slows down significantly. This makes it easier to gain fat, particularly around the abdomen, which is linked to numerous health problems. Your blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, as muscles are primary sites for glucose uptake. Even your heart and brain suffer, because muscles are not just about movement, they're about life itself, playing a crucial role in overall systemic health. You see, muscle is like the body's silent engine. It keeps everything running smoothly, from maintaining balance and posture to regulating hormones and supporting a robust immune system. When that engine starts to fade, every system struggles to perform optimally. This interconnectedness means that muscle health is not an isolated concern, it's central to your overall well-being and longevity. That's why people with stronger muscles tend to live longer, recover faster from illness or surgery, and stay more independent throughout their lives. Muscle mass is a powerful predictor of health outcomes in older adults. It provides a metabolic reserve, helps regulate inflammation, and even contributes to cognitive function. It's a vital asset that protects you against the challenges of aging. But when we lose that strength, life begins to shrink. The world feels smaller, less accessible. The steps get shorter, and the energy fades a little each day, making once enjoyable activities feel like insurmountable tasks. This gradual decline can lead to social isolation, reduced quality of life, and a loss of personal dignity, as basic self-care becomes increasingly difficult. Now, let's talk about why this happens, and why it's far more serious than most people think. You see, when we hit our 50s and 60s, our bodies begin to change in ways we don't always feel right away. These changes are multifaceted, involving a complex interplay of physiological factors that contribute to muscle decline. Understanding these causes is key to effective prevention and intervention. Firstly, our hormone levels, especially testosterone and growth hormone, start to decline significantly with age. These hormones are crucial for muscle protein synthesis, the process by which our bodies repair and build new muscle tissue. With lower levels, the body becomes less efficient at turning protein from food into new muscle, making it harder to maintain existing muscle mass, let alone build new tissue. Secondly, there's a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means that as we age, our muscles become less responsive to the signals that stimulate growth, such as protein intake and exercise. Even if you're eating enough protein, your body might not be utilizing it as effectively for muscle repair and growth compared to when you were younger. This makes strategic nutrition even more important. And thirdly, and perhaps most significantly for many, is inactivity. Because most of us move less as we age, the muscles that once stayed strong just by living our daily lives slowly begin to fade. It's like a car engine that's left sitting in the garage for too long. If you don't start it, if you don't keep it running, it begins to rust inside. Your muscles work the same way. They need movement, fuel, and care every single day to maintain their structure and function. A few years ago, I met a man named David, 68 years old. He used to be a carpenter, strong and proud of his work. When he retired, he stopped moving as much. He said, "Doc, I thought retirement meant rest. But rest turned into sitting. Sitting turned into stiffness. And stiffness turned into weakness." This illustrates the vicious cycle of sarcopenia. Reduced activity leads to muscle loss, which in turn makes activity harder, leading to further inactivity and more muscle loss. When I first met him, he had already lost nearly 20 pounds of muscle mass. His arms looked thinner, his legs weaker, and his energy was gone. He told me, "I can't even carry a box of groceries anymore." That's how sarcopenia shows up, not as acute pain, but as a gradual, insidious loss of ability and functional independence. It chips away at your capacity to perform everyday tasks, making life increasingly challenging. And the sad part? Many people mistake it for just getting old. They resign themselves to a life of diminished capacity. But it's not just aging, it's neglect. Neglect of one of the most vital parts of who we are, our muscle. This neglect, often unintentional, can have profound and far-reaching consequences for health and quality of life, extending far beyond mere physical strength. Let me share something from research that always shocks people. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that people over 60 who lose too much muscle are 3 times more likely to fall and break a bone. They are twice as likely to end up in a hospital bed longer after an injury or illness, and 50% more likely to lose their independence permanently. These statistics underscore the critical importance of muscle health for maintaining autonomy and preventing serious health crises. It's not just about strength, it's about survival. When your muscles fade, everything else starts to follow. Your blood sugar rises because muscles are the largest consumers of glucose in the body, helping to regulate blood sugar levels. Your bones weaken because muscles pull and strengthen them. The mechanical stress from muscle contraction is essential for bone density. Even your heart, yes, your heart, becomes less efficient, as muscle loss can impact cardiovascular function and overall metabolic health. That's why I always tell my patients, muscle is not just for athletes. It's for everyone who wants to live fully, vibrantly, and independently. It's a fundamental component of health that supports every other system in your body. Ignoring muscle health is akin to ignoring the foundation of your house. Eventually, the entire structure will suffer. Sometimes, I ask my patients to imagine this. Think of your body as a house. The muscles are the foundation. When the foundation cracks, even just a little, everything above it begins to shake. That's why people with weak muscles start to notice their posture changing, their balance faltering, their confidence slipping. These are not just cosmetic issues, they are indicators of a weakening support system. And little by little, life becomes smaller. You stop traveling because you are afraid of walking too far or navigating unfamiliar terrain. You stop visiting friends because stairs feel harder, or you worry about needing assistance. You stop doing what you love, not because you don't want to, but because your body says, no more, limiting your world and your experiences. So today, I want you to start noticing. Notice how your body feels when you get up from a chair. Does it feel effortless, or do you push off with your hands? Notice how far you walk before you get tired. Is it less than it used to be? Notice if lifting a grocery bag feels heavier than it used to, or if opening a jar requires more effort. These are not small things, they are signs. Whispers from your body, asking for attention, indicating that your muscle health might be declining. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to: it's never too late to rebuild. Science has proven that even at 70, 80, or beyond, your body can still grow new muscle fibers. It just needs the right message, the right fuel, and a bit of consistency. This remarkable capacity for regeneration means that age is not a barrier to regaining strength and vitality. That message comes from movement, specifically, resistance training. Even something as simple as walking 20 minutes a day, climbing stairs, or lifting light weights can send powerful signals to your muscles. When you challenge your muscles, you're sending a signal to your body: I still need this. Keep it alive. This stimulus is crucial for triggering muscle protein synthesis and adapting to become stronger. The fuel comes from protein, not just any protein, but high-quality sources like fish, eggs, lean meats, beans, and especially omega-3 rich foods. Older adults actually need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults to counteract anabolic resistance. Aim to spread your protein intake throughout the day, rather than consuming it all in one meal. Omega-3s, which you can find in salmon, sardines, and even fish oil supplements, help reduce inflammation and support muscle repair and growth. And then there's one more secret ingredient: mindset. Because the moment you start believing that weakness is inevitable, it becomes your truth, a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you believe that strength is possible, even now, your body listens. Your mental attitude plays a powerful role in your physical capabilities, influencing your motivation and adherence to healthy habits. I remember one of my most inspiring patients, Mrs. Lee, who was 74 when she came to see me. She had lost significant muscle after a long hospital stay and could barely walk across the room without assistance. We started small, gentle resistance bands, a protein shake each morning, short walks in her garden. The key was consistency and gradual progression, tailored to her capabilities. 3 months later, she looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "Doctor, I can pick up my great-granddaughter again." That's the power of rebuilding muscle. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better, with the capacity to enjoy the moments that truly matter, to engage with loved ones, and to maintain your cherished activities. It's about regaining the physical freedom that sarcopenia tries to steal. And maybe that's the message I want to leave you with in this part of our talk: muscle is not about vanity, and it's not about youth. It's about dignity. It's about having the strength to get up every morning and say, "I can." Because every step you take, every stretch, every bite of nourishing food, it's a small act of defiance against time. It's your way of saying, "I still have life to live, and I intend to live it fully." So don't wait for your muscles to fade away before you start caring for them. You can start today, wherever you are, however old you are. And your body, your incredible, resilient body, will thank you for it. Next, I'll share how to protect your muscles every single day, the simple habits that keep you strong, steady, and full of life, no matter your age. Because remember, strength isn't about age. It's about intention and consistent effort. You know, sometimes I think about how many of my patients come to me believing it's too late. They say, "Doctor, I'm old now. What's the point?" And every time, I smile and tell them, the point is you're still here. As long as you wake up in the morning, as long as your heart beats, your body is still capable of change. Your muscles, even if they've weakened, still remember what strength feels like. You just have to remind them, consistently and with purpose. I often tell people, your muscles are like old friends. If you ignore them for too long, they drift away. But the moment you reach out, move again, nourish them again, they come back. Maybe not as fast as before, maybe not as strong at first, but they come back, faithfully, quietly, beautifully. That's the magic of the human body. It always tries to heal, to rebuild, to serve you, if you give it the chance and the right tools. So tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to think about this. What would your life look like if you felt stronger again? Would you walk a little farther with your spouse, enjoying longer strolls and new adventures? Would you play with your grandkids a bit longer, getting down on the floor with them without a second thought? Would you finally take that trip you've been postponing, because you trust your body again to carry you through? That's what muscle strength gives you, not just power, but possibility, opening up a world of experiences. You see, we often think aging is a thief, that it steals our youth, our energy, our looks. But I've learned something different. Aging doesn't take everything away. It simply asks us to pay more attention, to be more intentional about how we care for ourselves. When you start caring for your muscles, when you feed them, move them, and respect them, you're not just protecting your body. You're honoring your story. The story of every step you've taken, every challenge you've overcome, every day you've chosen to keep going. And if there's one message I could leave you with, it would be this: strength is not about lifting heavy weights. It's about lifting yourself, out of fear, out of fatigue, out of that quiet belief that you're too old to change. You are not too old. You are exactly the right age to begin again, to invest in your health, and to reclaim the strength that is rightfully yours. So let's start today. Take a walk after this video, even if it's just around your living room. Make yourself a meal rich in protein and colorful vegetables, fueling your body with what it needs. Stretch gently. Breathe deeply. And when your body starts to move again, feel that quiet spark of life returning. That's your strength, whispering, "I'm still here, ready to serve you." Because your muscles remember. Your body remembers. And deep down, so do you. I'm Dr. Thomax, and I want you to stay strong, stay steady, and most of all, stay hopeful. Don't let sarcopenia steal your vitality. Take proactive steps now to nourish and challenge your muscles. Consult with your doctor or a physical therapist to create a personalized plan that's safe and effective for you. Until then, take care of those muscles that have taken care of you all your life.